In this video, we are going to learn super keyword. What is super keyword? Super keyword is used to refer immediate superclass object. If you want to refer current class object, you have this keyword. If you want to refer superclass object, you have super keyword. Super keyword is used in the context of inheritance only. You can use super keyword with variables, methods, and constructor. Now the syntax for using super keyword is, if you want to invoke superclass variable, write super keyword dot name of the superclass variable. If you want to invoke superclass method, write super keyword dot name of the superclass method. Super parenthesis invoke superclass constructor. If you want to invoke parameterized constructor, you need to mention the matching arguments. Write a program to demonstrate super keyword. In this program, we are going to see how super keyword is used with variable, method, and constructor. Super keyword is used with the context of inheritance. So we have a class person. This is a superclass. There are two instance variables name and s. Instance variable s has been assigned value welcome. Then we have default constructor, we have parameterized constructor, and we have display method. Next we have a subclass employee extends person. Here we have two instance variables eid and instance variable s. Point to remember, this instance variable s is totally different from instance variable s defined in the superclass person. This instance variable s is not inherited one. We have assigned the data type and we have declared it. It belongs to employee class. This instance variable s will have separate space inside the object, and instance variable s belonging to class person will have separate space inside the object. Then we have default constructor, we have parameterized constructor, and we have display method. We have class superdemo that has main method. Execution starts from here. Now the first statement is object creation, employee even equal to new employee. So reference variable even will have memory on the stack memory area, and actual object will be created on the heap. And all the instance variables belonging to class employee is allocated memory inside this object even. Inside class employee we have eid and s. So memory is allocated for instance variable eid and instance variable s belonging to class employee. Value hello is stored inside it because we are directly assigning the value hello to variable s. Also, the inherited instance variable name is allocated memory inside object even, and the inherited instance variable s belonging to class person is allocated memory inside object even. S is assigned value welcome, hence value welcome is stored in here. Also, an implicit call is given to the default constructor of class employee. So control of the execution goes to the default constructor of class employee, and the very first statement inside the constructor is always a call to superclass constructor. We have seen this in inheritance concept. Compiler adds in the code super parenthesis semicolon and gives an implicit call to superclass default constructor, that is person class. So from here, control of execution will go to the default constructor of person class over here. Again, the very first statement inside the constructor is call to the superclass constructor. So over here, compiler adds in this code. The person class doesn't explicitly extend any superclass. Hence, call will be given to the cosmic superclass constructor, that is object class constructor. So control of execution goes to the default constructor of object class and comes back, and the next statement executed is system.out.println. Superclass default constructor invoked will be printed to the console. So this is my first output. This statement will be printed to the console. Now the next statement is this dot name equal to Ojasva. So value Ojasva will be stored inside the instance variable name belonging to the current object even over here. After the execution of this constructor, control will go back over here, and the next statement executed is eid equal to 1. So instance variable eid, so inside instance variable eid, value 1 will be stored. After the execution of this default constructor, control will go back to the main method, and the next statement event.display is executed. So control of execution will go to the definition of display method belonging to employee class over here, and the first statement executed is system.out.println super.s. Now here comes the use of super keyword. You have two instance variable s variables. One is inherited from the superclass person and the other one is belonging to the employee class. So if you don't mention super keyword, interpreter invokes instance variable s belonging to employee class. Here, if you want to print value of superclass S variable, you need to mention super keyword. So when I say super.s, interpreter understands that it has to invoke value stored in person class S variable. So value welcome is retrieved and this is printed to the console. Now the next statement is system.out.println S. This S will retrieve value stored in employee class instance variable S, that is hello. So this hello is printed to the console. Next statement super.display. Here I am invoking display method of the super class and you need to mention explicitly super.display to invoke the display method of superclass, because we also have display method in employee class. If you want to call superclass display method, you need to mention it explicitly. So control of execution from here will go to the definition of display method belonging to class person, and the code inside will execute, that is name colon this dot name. So the value of name is Ojaswa. This will be retrieved and printed to the console. You get the output name colon Ojaswa. After this execution, control will go back and the next statement executed is system.out.println eid colon this dot eid will retrieve value 1 from instance variable eid, and this will be printed to the console along with a new line. \n denotes a new line. So new line is added to the console. Now the next statement employee E2 equal to new employee, and it is taking two parameters int and string. So reference variable E2 is stored inside stack, an actual object is created on heap, and all the instance variables belonging to class employee is allocated memory inside object E2. So we have two instance variables EID and S. Instance variable EID is allocated memory and instance variable S belonging to employee class is allocated memory. Also we have inherited instance variables name and S. So memory is allocated for those variables also. Name is allocated memory and instance variable S belonging to person class is allocated memory. An implicit call is given to the parameterized constructor of employee class. So from here control of the program will go to parameterized constructor and the value passed, that is 2 and series. This is stored inside the parameters EID and name. So memory is allocated for the local variables belonging to the parameterized constructor on the stack memory area and values are stored in here. Now the next statement is compiler always adds a call to the default constructor. The first statement inside the constructor is always a call to the default constructor. If you don't write explicitly the code for superclass constructor, compiler adds in some code super parenthesis semicolon and it gives a call to superclass default constructor. But over here we have given call to superclass parameterized constructor. So now compiler will not add in that code. If you are explicitly not giving a call to superclass constructor, compiler adds in the code. If you are explicitly giving a call to superclass constructor, compiler will not add the code. So here we are giving explicitly a call to the superclass parameterized constructor saying super parenthesis and inside this we are passing argument name. The local variable name has value Siri. This value Siri will be passed to the superclass parameterized constructor. It is a string value. Hence control of execution will go to the parameterized constructor which is accepting one string as an argument over here, and the value passed is stored in the local variable name belonging to the parameterized constructor of class person, and memory will be allocated to the local variable name belonging to the parameterized constructor of class person. So it will have memory inside the stack. Local variable name has been reserved memory and value Siri is stored in here. So the first statement inside here is a call to the superclass default constructor because we are not explicitly adding up a superclass constructor call. Class person does not explicitly extend any superclass. So this call will go to the object class default constructor and it will come back, and the next statement system.out.println superclass parameterized constructor invoked will be printed to the console. This is the output. Next is this dot name equal to Siri. So instance variable name, that is over here, instance variable name belonging to object E2 will have value of local variable name, that is Siri. This will be stored inside the object. After the execution of this parameterized constructor, memory reserved for its local variable from the stack will be released. And the control comes back, and the next statement, this.eid, that is instance variable eid equal to local variable eid. Value of local variable eid is 2. This is stored inside the instance variable eid. Over here, value 2 is stored. After this, control will go back to the main method, and the next statement e2.display is executed. Control of execution will go to the definition of display method. Again, system.out.println super.s. Value will be retrieved from instance variable s belonging to class person, that is welcome, and this will be printed to the console. Next statement is system.out.println. We are printing s. Interpreter will retrieve value belonging to employee class instance variable, that is hello, and that is printed to the console. Super.display will give a call to superclass display method, and the code inside will execute system.out.println name colon this.name. So instance variable name belonging to current object E2 has value Siri. This is printed to the console. After execution of this, control will come back, and this statement system.out.println eid colon this.eid will retrieve its value, that is 2, and a new line is added. So this is printed to the console. After the execution, control will go back to the main method, and the program terminates and the memory is released.